All right, we're gonna keep letting everybody in here. Yeah, those are what's actually, so that's what happened. Well, it's using Comcast. All right, we're getting everybody in. Check the video here. All right. How's it going, guys? Can you hear me okay? Mic check. Let me make sure it's not muted. Okay, good. All right. Perfect. I'm going to give it another minute just to see if we have anybody else trickle in. And while we do that, if you guys can, grab a pen and paper, obviously, just something to take some notes with, just in case there's some pointers we want to go over today. And we'll get started here shortly. I'm actually, I had it, here it is. I'm going to mount the camera a little bit better for us. All right, let me check to make sure we don't have any other participants in the waiting room. And I'm going to go ahead and get us kicked off here just to make sure we end on time today. All right, good. If anybody else trickles in, you might see me kind of reach up to the screen and admit them in. But we'll go ahead and get started, guys. So I just wanted to welcome you guys to the call and get a chance to just spend some time with you before you kind of get into your career while you're in your pre-licensing stages. You know, most of us should be studying to get their license right now, or maybe you just got through the courses. And if so, congratulations on that. And I'll walk you through and talk to you guys about some tips and some tricks, a couple techniques, maybe a couple things that can maybe help you get through your course a little bit faster. I'll hit on some just maybe pieces of career advice that was given to me that helped me out a little bit. So, you know, hopefully it'll help you guys out too at some stage. And trying to wrap up here 25 minutes or so. So I'm gonna get through everything as quick as possible for us though. So I'm glad you hopped on today on a Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. And happy studies on your courses there. But I wanted to congratulate you. Congratulations on, you know, getting hired onto the team, becoming part of the team, the family over here. It's funny, you know, I said this after I've been with the company for 10 years, they asked me to, you know, kind of just speak. They said, you know, give us some, you know, what did you gain over the last 10 years kind of. And I just remember part of that, just looking back at it, it's kind of like you start a career, and a career is a long-term thing. It's a job short-term, career long-term. So you start out the journey, and I didn't know anybody when I came into the company, guys. I didn't know anybody. So everybody to me was new. They were kind of just like peers, you know, kind of just like co-workers. And over time, you find out that the company is just full of absolutely amazing people, and like attracts alike. And I found that I've become friends with a lot of the people that real quickly. And then the friendships just grew to where we're like this, like pretty much you feel like it's almost family. to where I'm proud to say that I've had three, I believe right now, four people that I've never met them before. I start working with them with this company, and I've been in their weddings. Four people that over the last 12 years now, and they've been in my wedding. So I just can't say how special, of an opportunity it could be. And I hope for you guys to have, the same types of relationships that you build and those bonds and stuff, to where it's not just about, business. It becomes more than that. So anyways, just to talk about congratulations on the company. Yes, but congratulations on, just think about, the opportunity that lies ahead, because not everybody gets into the industry of sales. Not everybody chooses to be in that industry. There's all kind of industries we can get into, sports medicine, all this types of stuff. But at some level, no matter what industry you're in, you're going to have to sell yourself a little bit. I mean, that's what your resume is. Even if you're an engineer, you put together a resume to sell yourself to get a better job, right? So out of all the stuff that we can sell, the product, just think about the product that we chose to get into. So not only we're in sales, but now we're in sales. What do we sell? Is it furniture? Is it tickets to the ball game? Are we selling cars, perfume, jewelry? We are selling family protection. We're selling one of the most valuable things that any family can ever have in place for themselves. So it's very rewarding career when you realize, the actual power that you have when you get your license, and when you're able to sit down and advise a family, and by them taking your advice, changes their whole entire financial prosperity. And a lot of people's, successes in this world and, stresses in this world come from finances. So if we're able to make an impact on people, we're able to positively influence and impact their financial future and their financial prosperity for their whole entire family, I think that's a pretty nice gift, and something that you can believe in and sell and get behind. So what's nice though is it's also rewarding on the fact that they actually compensate us for doing that. So on our end, we're able to gain financial prosperity and able to set our families up to have a better future. So out of all the companies in the world that you can do this with, you can sell life insurance, right? We're just so happen to be, and don't take this lightly, and make sure you just appreciate this as like, you're with the best life insurance company on planet Earth to work for sure. No company takes care of their people like this company does. And I just want to make sure that you guys just understand like how special this is, all these hoops that we had to jump through, First of all, a lot of us had to get into America because this opportunity don't exist in any of we're in Canada and that's it right now. So you have to be in America, then you have to get into sales, then you got to get into insurance industry, then you actually got to find American income. I spent 3 years working 80 hours a week for Ameriprise Financial, and I made $30,000 my first year. Spent right out of college. I graduate college. I go right in to become a financial advisor. I had to get a Series 7, Series 66, life accident health. It took me 6 months to get my license. For us, we're like, all we got to get is our life now. For here, that takes 6 days. So what was nice though was it gave me this experience and an understanding. I guess it was a tough way to get the experience, the understanding, but I got it because I worked 80 hours a week and I made $30,000 my first year, $50,000 my second year, and maybe $70,000 in my third year. But it was all through cold calling and prospecting. And when I came to this company, I just came with this just huge level of appreciation because I kind of grew up on the other side of the train tracks. If anybody knows what I mean by that, it's like you kind of grew up in not a good neighborhood and now you're like, wow. So you never forget where you came from. So you have that appreciation. But if imagine this, guys, imagine if I was just born into the rich area, into a nice home. I don't know what it's like over there. So maybe my level of appreciation isn't really what it should be, right? So that's my fear for my son, is he didn't get to grow up where I got to grow up, you know? So I try as hard as I can to just drill the appreciation, but there's no, as much as I tell him, unless you go through it yourself, you're never going to appreciate it. So most of us guys, if you never did what I did, and you're just coming right into America, you're like being born with rich parents, basically, into the industry, because there's so many different places you can go, you know, and one of the biggest, I guess, reasons why there's success in any organization would be what, guys? Why do you think a team wins and loses? Is it because of the water boy? Right? As much as the water boy is important to the team, that's not the teams win and lose because of leadership. It's called everything rises and falls on leadership. Everything. If you see a successful team, a successful organization, a successful country, it's all based upon leadership. And if you see a team that's not so successful, there might be some situations where leadership going on there. So one of the reasons why our company is so successful, we've had 70 years of success, guys. We were founded in 1951. This is 2021. We're having a 70-year anniversary this year. And what a way to celebrate it. We're at 15 months of record-breaking growth as an international company after being in business for 70 years. So I think, you know, leadership has a huge part to do with that. Doesn't just happen on accident. You don't just trip and fall and land on top of a mountain, right? You get to the top, it's pretty intentional. So we've had 3 CEOs in company history. And I think that is just something remarkable to begin with right there. And so you could just talk about what a great company that we're part of. Globe Life is the largest life insurance company in the United States of America. We have more policyholders than any other company. Globe Life is also the sponsor for the Texas Rangers baseball stadium, and they're just a big, huge organization that we get to be part of. And we actually make up the majority of the profits for Globe. So they love AIL. They love American Income Life. They love Bernard Rappaport's company because we do so well for them. And then when you take a look at AIL is a huge company, very successful, our company. And our agency, guys, is one of the fastest growing, most successful startup agencies in the 70-year history of the company. We were founded about a year ago in March of 2020, guys. So imagine this, you know, I worked with this company from 2008 all the way until 2020. And I worked my way up from an agent to a supervisor, to a manager, to a general manager, to a regional manager. And then one day, after I broke all the records as a regional manager, and I was #1 on stage 5 times. It's never been done as an RGA in company history. They said, you know, we have an opportunity for you to go to Chicago and start this agency up out there. And I was like, well, you know, I'm pretty good, but this is a time for us to take people to go be great. So I went from good to go be great. I moved out to Chicago, kicked out the agency. And of course, March of 2020, we started out and everybody was all excited. We had a big meeting. And the very next day, the world shut down. So you can imagine being born into adversity. Our agency was faced with adversity the first day that we were, you know, in existence. So from there, is this frozen? No? Okay, sorry, I just want to make sure. From there, we were able to grow the agency, and within one month, April of 2020, we produced over $100,000 of business in one single week in our first month in production. It's never been done in the insurance industry. No company, no agency has that started, and the insurance industry has been around for a long time. So that was exciting, and from that point, it's literally been growth after growth after growth after growth. Every single month, we have grown, and we're off to the races here in 2021. We have a big goal to do over $5 million, which has never been done in the insurance industry either in your first year of existence. And I just, want you guys to know, the agency that you're part of, we have broken a lot of records. We have the playbook, we have all the systems, all the procedures, and we know what it takes. I have personally been able to, grow myself to, the highest level in the company and broke all the records and all of that. But you don't do that on your own. So along the way, I have taken many, many other people to the top as well, and have developed multiple millionaires with this company. So, they say if it's lonely at the top, you haven't taken enough people with you. So, I made it my vow, I made it my goal that if for me, guys, in my first year, I made 100. In my second year, I made 200. In my third year, I made 500. And in my fourth year, when I was 28 years old, I made 937,000 with this vehicle, the same vehicle that you have, the same opportunity that you have. I did that with it. It would be a shame for me to not show other people how to do the same thing and change their whole entire family's life and their future. Because also on top of that, I get $22,000 a month in residual income before I wake up, and it's not about income. I just want to let you guys know that that's a great part of it. My family's been very, very blessed because of this opportunity, and I know how to do it. And that's what I've been on over the last, I guess 8 years or so. Ever since I made my first million, I was like, I got to go get other people to do this. And I've been just every year developing and trying to take other people who really want it, you can go get it. Because the opportunity today with this company, I promise you this, if I'm lying, I'm dying. Promise you guys, it is way better today than it has ever been when I started. So if I could do that much income in my fourth year and it was worse back in 2012, I can't imagine the possibilities that some of us may have with the opportunity of what it really is today. And it really just comes to that drive and that hunger. You guys know that Conor McGregor, he lost his last fight. What they said in Rocky. They said to Rocky, they said it's hard to be hungry when you're hopping off a 50-foot yacht wearing some Gucci flip-flops. It's hard to be hungry. It's hard to have that hunger, right? So that's why I never forget, where I came from. And that drive, that hunger is really the thing that kind of drove me personally to excel and to execute this business the way it needed to be executed, So anyways, that's my little spiel. And I wanted to give you some tips today as well. So, you're probably wondering, what are these tips? I don't really have any crazy magic bullet on how to get this license test done. So I'm just going to tell you what I did and what I know has worked best for me. And just to let you guys know kind of how I am with test taking. Okay, guys, I absolutely despise taking tests. And I don't really hate much. I love everything. But one thing I hate is taking tests and studying. I'm not, just not my thing, guys. I don't like it. So especially when I had to do this, I just graduated college and I thought I would never have to take a test again. So I literally was done with it. And then I come to find out, they're like, wait a minute, one more test, man. So I had to buckle back down. And for me, taking tests and studying is painful. So kind of like ripping a Band-Aid off. The other day, I had to rip a Band-Aid off my son's back. He cut his back. I put some Neosporin on it. Actually, it worked. I think Neosporin is pretty good stuff. I actually healed that thing up quicker than I was surprised. Like magic. So anyways, I had to get the Band-Aid off him, right? And I just went over, I said, come here, and just ripped it right off. Why would I do that? I'm his dad. Do you think I'm trying to cause pain for my son? No, I'm trying to eliminate the pain, right? If I wanted to be a jerk, I would have went like this and pulled it off real slow. If he was like maybe misbehaving or something, I wanted to get him back. Maybe that's what, but you see what I mean? The longer you drag things out, the more painful it is, right? So if you love someone, if you care someone about it, rip that Band-Aid off for them. Okay. Don't drag it out any longer than it needs to be. And if you love yourself, then don't drag out this studying any longer than it needs to be either. For me, at least, it was painful. So I had to get it done quick. So my number one thing was get in and get out. Okay. Well, I found out later on down the line, after I've been in the business for like 8 years, someone came to me with statistics and they're like, Tommy, check this out. People that go through the course in less than 10 days pass the test at this rate. People that take longer than 10 days to get through the course pass the test at this rate. And I was like, wow, I always had an inkling that if you get through it faster, you're going to have a better chance of passing it. And the people that drag it on, they end up just dragging it on forever and never get anything done. So I just felt like that. And then the statistic just proved to me, kind of what I always felt. But personally for myself, I basically just locked myself in a room for like a couple of days, got this thing knocked out. And as painful as that was, it was going to be painful long or painful short. I had to do something. So I locked myself in a room for a couple of days and I got the thing knocked out as quick as possible. And sure enough, guys, I went in and I took the test and I was nervous. I didn't know what was going to happen. I took the pre-test a couple of times. So I highly recommend to take that practice exam at the end multiple times. Because what you see there is going to be pretty close to what's on the test, because they have active people that are taking the tests. So they go out, they take the test, then they come back and they adjust the course to kind of reflect what you're going to see in the test. So it helps to know those practice exams. If you score 80% or higher, a couple times in a row, should be good to get a 70 on the real thing. If you get an 80 on the practice, you'll get a 70 on the real thing. So that's what I did. Like literally, that's what I did. I got an 80 on the practice and I went and took the real thing and I got a 70 on the real thing. And do you guys know the minimum score that you need to pass is a 70. So I literally can't tell you, I couldn't have got a lower score than what I scored. So what I like to tell people is I studied just enough. I didn't study too much. I didn't study just enough. If you get an 88, you studied 18%, really more than you needed to study for. So, but the way that you do on the test has no bearing on how you do in the business, in life. Okay. Sometimes people get caught up on these test scores, like it's going to be the determination of how they do in the business. Literally, I scored the worst you could possibly score, the lowest possible score. So it has no bearing on how you can do in the business. In fact, I would say that if you get a 99% on this test, you, number one, you probably studied too much, but number two, you might be too smart for your own good. You ever hear somebody trying to like be too smart? They're like almost outsmarting themselves to where they're taking something simple and turning it into simplicity, into complexity. Right? This business is very simple. It really is a simple model. It's a simple model. It's not easy. If it's easy, everybody would do it. But it's simple. It does not take brain surgery, rocket science to really get this done. So that's the good news about the business. Getting the license is a pain in the butt. You got to learn stuff that you're never really going to use, basically. So, how discouraging really is that? But the good news is, if you went to 4 years of college, well, you're used to it because you learned 4 years of stuff that you're never going to use. So this is basically just like 1 week of stuff and you're probably going to use maybe 20% of it, but the other 80% you're not. So just don't get too caught up like in your feelings on how like you're doing on this test. Just pass it and get it over with so we can move on to actually teaching you the business. So the piece of advice that was given to me when I got hired, because I was asking all kinds of questions. I just wanted to know everything. So hopefully you guys are like that too. I want you to be very interested. Be very interested. That's how you become interesting. On a little side note, is an interesting person is someone who has a lot of experience, who's done a lot of different things. Well, you're not going to go out there and experience and do a lot of different things if you're not interested in a lot of different stuff. So people that are interested end up becoming very interesting. you know? So I want you to be very interested in this business. Make this business your new. When I was a little boy, it was the NFL. When I was a little boy, I knew everything that went on in the NFL. Everybody. I could tell you from Troy Aikman to Brett Favre to John Elway. I knew every quarterback, knew the statistics, knew who was starting running back this week, right? Well, when I left and when I grew up and I got into this business, I made this business my NFL. I knew all the players. I knew who the people are with this company. You know, I knew who the president was, CEO. I knew their history. I knew where they grew up. I knew how they came into the business. So I want you to start getting familiar with that kind of stuff as well. Just a little side note. But when I started in the business, the guy told me, I was asking all kinds of things. He said, listen, all you need to do is right now, you need to do two things. Two things. Ready? You need to study and pass. He said, everything else doesn't matter. I could sit here and explain to you all the stuff that you want to know, but it's not going to, it doesn't matter if you don't get your license. So that was the first thing that I was given advice on. Then I'll tell you some career advice that they gave me. Anything else with the test, I would say vocabulary. You know, I get feedback on vocabulary. People tell me, if you know the vocabulary words, what do you call that? At the end of the thing, they usually have all the words broken down, you know, the glossary, basically, right? If you know the meaning to the words, what's going to happen is the test is an ABCD. So it's a multiple choice test. So what'll happen is you can process of elimination, start eliminating answers to the test that you know don't make any sense, because you already know what the words mean because you studied the vocabulary words. So that's something that they said. Try and schedule your test early in the morning for your state exam. So when you take your real state exam, try and schedule it early in the morning, not later in the day when your mind's full of a bunch of other stuff. When your mind's fresh, do it in the morning. Get a little bit of caffeine in you if you can. And you don't want to be cramming the night before. Sometimes you might feel like you might need to cram, but if you can schedule it properly and set yourself up, cram. But the day before the test, the night before the test, relax, chill out, you know, do something else. I wouldn't go out and party at the club till 3 a.m. You know, I would get a good night's sleep, you know. but try and keep your mind maybe off the material for the most part that night before. So I don't know, just a couple things you can do that help. And then you know, just some advice on the career that some people gave me, and I'll get into that one second because I want to walk you through. Well, let's say what happens next. Let's just go over what happens next for 1 second, because you know, before you know it, you're going to get through your course. You're going to schedule your state exam, and you're going to pass your state exam. So what do we do after we pass our state exam? You're going to know right then and there, first of all. You don't have to wait for something to come in the mail. It's right on the computer. So you're going to sit there, you're going to finish the exam, then you're going to press next. They're going to ask you a few questions. You're going to press next. And then it's like that moment of truth where the thing's spinning and you're just like, what is it going to say? And when it comes up and it says pass, all right, before you run out of that place and you go celebrate, make sure that you apply for your license and get your fingerprints if you need to get your fingerprints done. So right at this point, remember, you passed your exam, but now you actually have to apply for your license. So you send in your application for your license along with your test scores. Then what happens is the state will process all that. They'll do an FBI background check. Then they'll issue you your state license. That process can take anywhere from a week or two. That's why you want to get it started immediately. You don't want to go home and do it next week, because now you're going to be a whole another week behind on that process. So you want to start that immediately, just get that ball moving, okay? Now, after that license comes in the mail, well, how about this? You're going to have about a week or two where we're basically waiting for the license to come in the mail. So what are we going to do while we wait for our license? We're going to start getting prepared for training, because when your license comes in, now you're official and we can start the actual training and get started into the career. So while we're waiting for that, hey, I mean, we could just wait and just show up the training class and, try to learn as much, but we like to get you prepared. So we're going to take the first 2 weeks, these next 2 weeks, and get you prepared as best as possible by the first thing is getting the script into your hand. The presentation that we do, the presentation that when we meet with a client, it's all a presentation that's scripted. We have it all typed out. It's all planned out. It's all prepared. So the good thing is you don't have to come in and create your own stuff. That's what I liked about the business too. It was very plug and play. So I could just plug myself into the business and use their playbook, and it works. So the script, the presentation, we're going to put that into your hands, and you're going to have to memorize that before coming to training class, because that's what we're going to start using immediately. So you're going to want to memorize that and have that memorized. So I don't know if you've ever taken any acting classes, or you wanted to be an actor one day. Here's your chance. Here's your chance. Denzel Washington got to memorize who knows how many scripts a year for many years, and he makes millions of dollars. For us, we got to memorize one script, and it's like a couple pages, and we're good for the rest of our lives, right? So you want to memorize that script really good so that you can teach it to others one day. If you want it to be in leadership, you're going to have to teach it to others. So definitely want to get that thing down. Now you're going to start training, guys. Training class is going to be 2 weeks where there's going to be, you're going to do role playing. You're going to do a lot of practicing, a lot of hands-on training. There's going to be a classroom setting where we're actually going to teach you. So you're going to definitely be learning stuff, taking notes. You're going to be hearing from the best of the best in our agency is going to be teaching things to you guys for 2 weeks straight. You're going to be getting hands-on experience in the field, working with clients. And by the end of those 2 weeks, you're going to be trained. You're going to be prepared. You're going to be ready and able to meet with families. Sometimes it might take you 3 weeks. Maybe you need an extra week of some training. We're here. We'll help you. We're going to hold your hand every step of the way through the training process. So you don't have to worry about that. Your managers are going to be with you the whole time, helping you, making sure you're getting to where you got to go. Okay. But when you get through your training and now you're done, hey, now you're able to be an agent. You're no longer a trainee. Now you're a real agent and you're able to go see clients. So I want you guys to know, though, that this starts what's called your preseason. Okay. So even though you're out of training now it's the preseason. The preseason is your first 100 presentations that you do. So you gotta think mentally, you gotta know the timeline on this, because it may take you another week or two to pass your test, another week or two to get your license. So you might not start training with us for 2 to 4 weeks from now. So if your training's 2 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now, from that point forward, then we're going to start training with you, and you have about 2 to 3 weeks of training for, chalk up a month there. Now at that point, you're ready to start seeing clients, but you're not fully comfortable and you're not going to be fully confident because you never really did it before. But after you do 100 presentations, you're going to be 100% comfortable and confident in what you're doing. It takes about 100 presentations to get there. So that's your preseason. So you get 100 presentations just to warm up, just to get your preseason going, okay? Just to get comfortable and confident. But after you do one presentation, you're still going to be about 99% uncomfortable, maybe 1% comfortable. Hey, after you do 20 presentations, you'll be 20% comfortable, 80% uncomfortable. But after you do about 75, now you're 75% confident, still 25% not sure. It's going to take all the way up to 100. Well, that takes about 2 to 3 months to give about 100 presentations. If you do 10 presentations a week, That's going to take about 10 weeks. 10 presentations a week for 10 weeks. You would do 100 presentations. At that point, you will now be ready to get started. You'll be really ready to start actually doing the business, and really, really ready to be comfortable, confident, and to start really putting up some good activity, some good figures, some good professional results for yourself. But I want you to know, up until that point, everything's going to feel uncomfortable a little bit, and you might not even have much confidence in yourself or anything at that point. So you just have to have trust, and you have to have faith, and you have to rely on the system and not yourself. So we have a saying, we say, put the pressure on the system. Take all the pressure off yourself. Don't put any pressure on yourself. Put all the pressure on the system. Okay. So in the beginning, that's all you have. Let's be honest. You don't have 10 years we literally have hundreds of years of combined insurance experience that we're using to help us become successful. You don't have all that. So if you put the pressure on yourself, I don't know what kind of experience or you're really relying on here. So try and just take it off yourself and just, almost you ever do a trust fall with your friends? They're scary. Even if it's with I've got some really big friends, and I'm a light guy, I'm skinny. I was a wide receiver on the football team. So I was like the skinny guy who had to run around all the time. So, but some of my friends were the linemen. They were the big guys. Even if I did a trust fall with them, there's always that one point of the trust fall, right? Where you're like, you kind of almost think they're not going to catch you, right? Your stomach drops a little bit. There's always that one spot where you almost lose faith, that's not a true trust fall then. A true trust fall is when you don't have that, right? So that's the thing. You got to really trust the system. And believe me, there's going to be parts where you're going to doubt yourself, doubt your system, doubt everything, right? But and at that point, that's not when you have poor faith. That's when you have more faith, and you got to pour more faith into the situation. But anyways, so a little bit of just, I guess, career advice now. Now we got an idea of what it's going to look like for the first few months. You got to map out your 100 presentations. And from that point, now you're able to do this. You're able to either say that you want to be a leader, and we can get you promoted and talk about your promotion and make sure you hit the quota and the numbers to do so. Or B, you can say, I want to stay out of leadership, and I want to just focus on meeting with clients. I want to build my business. I want to work with my clients, set my own schedule. I want to, be the top agent in the company, right? And we can set up game plans to do that. We have one of the top agents, Ashley Miza, and we have a bunch of other, Christina, whole bunch of other top agents here that I can put you in touch with, and they can help you do the same and even more. So, but at that point, what's nice is after you give your 100 presentations, now you feel a lot more confident, where you feel, hey, I'm ready to get into management. You can start working to be a supervisor. We can get you promoted, and you start training, developing, and building your team. So, and then from that point, if you do get into leadership, now there's different goals and different positions that you can hold, and numbers, and I can work you through how to, within your first year, you become a manager. By the end of your by your second year, you could be a general manager. In your third year, a regional manager. And that's what I did. It took me about 8 months to become a general manager. It took me about 2 years to become a regional manager. So there's no time limit on it. We don't have to wait for somebody to die or retire to take advantage of the opportunity and to advance your family. So I was able to do it. And if you wanted to put some big goals in place and then work to execute them, I will work with you guys personally. If you come to me and say, Tommy, I want to be here by here, I will set the game plan with you and show you how to work with you personally to get there. And hopefully there are some big goals. They say happy is the person who dreams big dreams and is prepared to pay the price to achieving them. Happy is the person who dreams big dreams and is prepared to pay the price to achieving them. That's almost like somebody who's like, they almost whistle while they work. You ever see whistle while they're just happy? You're like, how could this person be happy? They're going through hell right now, Yeah, they're sacrificing, but they got big dreams and they know the price that they're paying, and they're more than happy to pay that price. Because in perspective, in comparison, the price to achieving your dreams, guys, is priceless. So you can't even put a price on that. There's no price tag on it. And the price that I've paid over the years to get to where I'm at right now, ask me if I will do it again, I will do it over 10 times. 10 times. It's very, very worth it, guys. So I just want you to all experience the opportunity the way I have been able to, but to just a better degree, 10 times better than what I've been able to experience. So that's why I'm meeting with you guys today, is to just give you guys the best advice I possibly can to prepare you guys to have the best career you possibly can, because this opportunity has changed, my life and my family's life for generations to come. I can't even put it into words. And that's just what I hope that you all are able to experience as well. So just a couple pieces of career advice, and I'll get us out of here. All right. First of all, when I got started in the business, this industry is the financial services industry. More millionaires were born from the insurance industry than any other industry because of what? Residual income. Residual income. Okay. If you have $1 million saved up in the bank right now, you can retire with $2,500 a month. Just so you guys know. If you ever try to plan your retirement, right? You're like, how much do I need to survive? How much do I need? Well, if you need 10 grand a month to survive in retirement, and 1 million gets you 2,500 a month, then that means you're going to need $4 million in order to give you $10,000 a month in retirement money, right? I don't know anybody who save up $4 million. Do you? Maybe you got a rich uncle that owns, part of the Mets or something like that. I don't know. That's not where I came from, though. So for me, it was like, I don't know anybody. But based upon my understanding of numbers, which if this is math and you kind of can't argue with it, you can argue with a lot of stuff, but you really can't argue with math. Math is going to win all the time. 1 + 1 is 2. Say what you want. I can't argue with it. So $1 million, just so you know, I'm just telling you the facts. I've done retirement planning. I know retirement facts. Okay. It says $1 million is able to give somebody a retirement of $2,500 a month. Okay. So what we're doing here, guys, is we're building residual income into this industry, in this business, residual income. Okay. If you're able to build your residual income up to $2,500 a month, that is the same thing as someone else saving $1 million. You realize that? How long would it take for someone to save $1 million, guys? Well, let's just say that you saved $50,000 a year for 20 years. That would do it. So essentially, you would have to save $1,000 a week for 20 years. I don't know many people that can do that, right? And let's say that you did, that will be 20 years from now. So your dollar is going to be worth 50 cents. Because every 22 years, the cost of things double. So that will be tough. So it's nice to know is when you build residual income here, You don't have to save $1 million. You actually don't have to save nothing. They pay me $22,000 a month, and I don't have to save any money to do that. Based upon those numbers, I would have to have over $8 million saved up right now. I don't know how you can start with a company 12 years later, have $8 million saved up. Well, for me, I started with the company 12 years later. I don't have $8 million, but they're paying me like I do. Does that make sense, guys? So, you know, what's nice is I didn't retire yet though. And they're paying me my retirement while I'm working. The average retirement is like $4,000 a month, $3,000 to $4,000 a month. Most people are taking home $3,000 to $4,000 a month in retirement. They had to work 40 years to get it, and they don't get that $3,000 a month until they retire. I'm 38 next. I think I'm 37. I'll be 38 next month. You lose track when you get old. Stop counting. I never understood that, and then I start getting old, and I start realizing, yeah, you do kind of lose track. But anyways, yeah. I mean, for the next rest of my life, I'm going to get $22,000 a month just for the last 12 years of work. While I still work. You know, I'm trying to just put stuff into perspective how amazing the opportunity is. So what they told me there, they taught me though, at the beginning, it's not like that. It's not like that. At the beginning, you're going to work this much and you're probably going to make like this much because you're new. But what happens in this business is over time, you end up like working this much now and making this much. It flip-flops. So you got to be okay with that. Are you okay with that? And I was like, yeah. So you mean I'm gonna pay now, but I'm gonna be able to play later? I'll sign up for that one for sure. I don't want to just pay I don't want to just pay, and people just say I want to pay 40 hours a week for the next 40 years and just keep it even, right? That's not this business. This is this industry where you're going to put more in up front, but then you're going to put less in at the end. You may make less up front, but you're going to make way more in the end. I mean, I don't know what to say. When they told me that, I still thought I was going to have to do work, guys. You know what I mean? Like they told me you're going to have to work this much and make this much. And then they told me you're going to work this much and make this much. Well, they didn't tell me I was going to have to work no hours and make $22,000 a month. Like, I didn't think that was going to be the case. If you pull up your calculator right now, you could figure it out. I think I make like $37 an hour every hour while I'm sleeping, every hour, no matter what. So I could go to dinner. I could go to dinner right now. It cost me $37 for dinner, and I paid for my dinner by eating dinner. Pretty cool, huh? I'm trying to show you guys. This is what I'm talking about. But I have to preface it and always put it in that same sentence. It wasn't easy. I always got to tell you that. I'm let everybody know it's not easy, but it's worth it, man. It's not going to be easy, but I promise you it will be worth it. Someone told me that one time, and it stuck with me forever, you know? So anyways, that's some advice that was given to me at the beginning. You know, so you have to be okay with that. Pay now so you can play later. I was cool with that. The second thing is there was some advice that was given to me by some gurus in the business. So there's a guy named Brian Tracy. You can look him up, and I would subscribe to him, listen to him. He doesn't just fire. I mean, this is what I was listening to for 15 years now. Brian Tracy. He's just a old school classic. Can't go wrong with Brian Tracy. Okay. He's a sales guru, and one of his books was like it was like, you know, I forget what it was. It was like Top Sales Habits or something like that. And I was listening to the book, and he said, here's a quote, you know, here's a quote about careers, okay? Career quotes. He said that when he said the more everybody wants to have security, right? So he goes like this, everybody wants to be secure in this world. They want to have security for their family. And he's like, right? And everybody's like, yeah, I would agree with that. Well, he said, the more that we seek security, the less of it we're going to have. The more that we seek opportunity, the more we're going to achieve the security that we originally desired. And I had to like really think about that, and let it really sink in. And it might even took me 3 days to really figure out what he was saying. but I wrote that down and I let it kind of sink in a little bit. So everybody's seeking security out there. Everybody wants their family to have security, And he said, the more that we seek security, the less of it that we're going to have. But the more that we seek opportunity, the more that we're going to achieve the security that we originally desired. So, when I graduated college, I was out there and I'm trying to figure out what I got to do to get my security. How am I going to get myself secure, right? Jobs where I could have took a job that paid me 50 grand a year, safe, guaranteed. I could have took a job that paid me, maybe had opportunity over a couple of years to get a promotion, and I could have maybe got to 65 grand working at the whatever place, if I kissed enough butt, maybe I could get up to 80 grand over 10 years. Nice, secure place though. I don't have to worry about if I'm getting paid Friday. I know I'm getting my $1,000 for sure. But guess what I know? It ain't gonna be no more than $1,000 either. So, my idea was I need to go find opportunity. I don't need to seek for security, right? So I'm programmed already coming out of college, seek opportunity. So now I'm seeking opportunities. I'm looking out there, all these opportunities, interviewing everywhere, trying to figure out what I need to do with myself. I got my real estate license, thought I was going to do that. I didn't sell one home. So what happened was I heard another quote. It's funny how these quotes will change your life. So I heard another quote, Tom Hopkins. And Tom Hopkins is another one who I would subscribe to if I were you. When I say subscribe, I don't know, subscribe what real. I'm just saying get his books, maybe, follow him on social medias. Maybe there's some YouTube you can subscribe to him on. But, one of his books was called Mastering the Art of Closing. So this is before I was even in sales. I'm listening to this, Mastering the Art of Closing. And he said that in this book, he goes around the room because it was a live thing that he did, but he recorded on audio. But you could tell there was a crowd there. He goes to the crowd. He's like, all right, everybody in the room that's in sales, raise your hand. And everybody raised their hand. He was like, all right, that's a trick question because this is a sales conference. So then he said, all right, now everyone that gets paid a commission or a bonus off of the sales that they make, raise your hand. And still people raise their hand, but not everybody. Because that there are salespeople that they don't make commissions or bonuses. Right? So still a lot of people raise their hand. And he said, now I want everybody here that only gets paid if they make a sale. Only gets paid if they make a sale. I want you guys to raise your hand. And now not everybody raised their hand. It was like a small group of people raised their hand, right? And he was like, you guys are my favorite. You guys are the elite. You guys are the ones that can really change your life. And he goes like this. He goes, when you're seeking opportunity, okay, when you're seeking opportunity, just know this, okay, that the more guarantees that you have on your income, the more limits you will have on your income. Therefore, the less guarantees you have on your income, the less limits you have on your income. This company is called Opportunity Unlimited. There are no limits on our income. There are no limits on how far and how fast you can get there. So that was the second quote that stuck with me forever. When seeking opportunity, remember this: the more guarantees that you have on your income, the more limits you're going to have on your income. The less guarantees on your income, the less limits you're going to have on your income. What kind of life do we want to live? We only get to live once. Do we want to live a life that is limited by other people telling us what we're worth, what you're worth per hour? Or do you want to go out there and make what you're worth per hour? I would rather work for myself 24 hours a week, 7 days a week, than to be working for somebody else for 40 hours a week and told what to do and when to be there and when I'm allowed to take a vacation with my family and how long that vacation is allowed to be. And if I wanted to go earn some extra income, I got to go beg them for some overtime. If I want extra income, I could tell myself, hey, go get some extra income. That's what's cool about the opportunity. But everybody starts out at the same place, right? You're like a baby right now. So you got to make sure that you survive and you grow and you get to where you need to go every stage of every step of the game. Don't fall out on the licensing. Don't even so don't even make it through the light. Make sure you get through the licensing. Okay, give yourself a shot, an honest shot. Make sure you give your 100 presentations. Give yourself an honest shot to get your family set up there. And I cannot promise you guys this. I can't promise you that you're going to have the same experience that I had with this opportunity, guys. Okay. But I can promise you this. I can promise you that you're going to have the same opportunity that I had, but it's even better. I promise you that with everything I've got. The opportunity now is way better than I've ever had it, So anyway, I hope some of this helped you guys today and hit home and you got something to take home with it. And I look forward to definitely working with you guys through your whole entire career. I wish I could take the test for you. Actually, I don't, because I hate taking tests. Let me just take that back. Okay. But if I could hire somebody to take the test for you, I would hire them to take the test for you and I would get it done for you. Okay. But we can't. This is something we gotta man up. We gotta woman up and we gotta go. We just gotta go do it. So there ain't nothing to it but to do it. So let's get in there and get out as quick as possible. Let's get our license done. Have a great weekend, guys. Have a great Friday. Don't have too much fun because you got to study and get your license, okay? And I'll just end on two little things. On Monday at 11 a.m., we have our agency meeting. So love to have you guys and join us on that. Please hop on to the agency meeting on Mondays at 11 a.m. It's a great get together with the whole agency. We recognize top performers and we have some fun as well. So tell your manager if you wanted to hop on that, they'll send you the agency meeting link. It's a Zoom link. You can hop on from anywhere on the planet. And then also on Tuesday, I'm doing a special meeting with people that are interested in leadership. If you are someone that, is interested in getting into the leadership track and you want to get a jump start on it and you want to get some more info on it, I'm going to be actually spending time just with a couple individuals, just those people that kind of you're raising your hand saying, hey, I want to be in leadership and I want to find out what some of the next steps are. You want to be proactive. I'm going to take 11 o'clock on Tuesday morning and I'm going to spend that time with just you guys, even if it's just one of you. just to give you the insight, the tools, the knowledge, and really anything I can to prepare you and get your career off to the races even faster. Okay, so that'll be Tuesday at 11. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that. Both of those, if you're going to be on the agency meeting or you want to be in leadership, just let your manager know, let your MGA know. Your MGA should be Gio Vaca, Vince Masseri, Casey Kunesh, Drew Herstein, or Josh Urenko. So one of those five people, or your direct upline manager. But definitely would love to see you in the meeting on Monday. And I look forward to working with you guys and have a great weekend once again, guys. So have a great one today, guys.
Central time?
Yes, Central time. You
Okay.
got it. So anytime we're usually, if you hear us talking, we're usually just in the Central time zone. So, that's usually what we're going to be saying. But yeah, Central 11. So that'll be noon Eastern. Good question though. All right, guys. Well, hey, great seeing you guys. Everybody looks great, looking sharp, and have a great weekend.